Hey everybody, welcome to my channel where I talk about the United States debt, how high it's going, how it's affecting you, and what you can do about it. So without further ado, let's get down to it. So the United States debt, it's currently at 35.9 trillion. It's went up 2 billion in the past 10 days. So I went ahead and did the math so you don't have to. So every year the United States debt is going up 7.2 trillion, right? And that's at the least. Right? I'm actually giving them the benefit of the doubt because I'm not adding interest, right? Because every month, every year, every week, whatever you want, it goes up more and more because of compound interest, because that's how debt works. It just keeps accumulating interest. Same thing for the United States. They're just accumulating interest. So that $1 trillion that they owe in interest, it's it's multiplying at a very fast rate now. Since it's hit that $1 trillion mark, the interest rate that they owe, it has been skyrocketing, and it's going to continue to skyrocket. And there's a few reasons for this. If you watched my video, you would know why, but I'm going to explain it to you again. So, currently, the United States is spending way more than they need to. They're spending about double the amount that they're getting. On top of that, most of their money is coming from us taxpayers. So if you want them to fix the United States debt, they're going to have to either tax us more or they're going to have to start cutting things. There's four main things that they are um, paying for the most. All right, there's four of them. All right, Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, their war, and that $1 trillion interest rate that I'm telling you about that they have to pay yearly. That's accumulating faster and faster each year. So, what can we do about this? Well, currently there's nothing us Americans can really do about it, right? At the end of the day, it's whatever they decide to do. And at the end of the day, are we going to just keep paying more and more taxes? I mean, I don't really have a choice in the matter. They take it out my check. So what can I really do, right? But there are a few things that I have thought that would be a pretty good counteraction to this ongoing inflation, right? Because the United States inflation is coming from the United States debt. They don't have any money to fix anything. They don't have any money to pay off any debts. They don't have any money for anything. So they're just borrowing more and more money to pay their debts with, which leads to them borrowing more and more money. And it just ends up in a cycle that we end up paying for, right? So personally, I had gotten into the crypto game. And no, this isn't about to be about crypto, right? I'm not gonna say go buy crypto. But I had tried to get into stocks and crypto, and it worked for a little bit until it didn't, right? And for a while, I stopped investing. I didn't really know what to invest in besides, there's a few online banks that I use, like SoFi or Ally or, whatever online bank that is FDIC approved and, you know, has around 4 to 5% interest. I try to get that 6 and 7%. It's a little difficult, but hey, 4 and 5% interest rate is pretty good on your money just sitting there, right? But lately, I've been looking for something that is just a little better at holding the value, because 5% a year, it's not really holding the value because the United States debt is so high, we end up owing more than 4 to 5% that we're getting back on our money, if that makes sense. So, in order to keep up with inflation, we need to be getting like 20% back on our money. Um, so I've been looking into investing into gold and silver, right? And I'm not talking about like gold IRAs or gold sheets or paper bonds or whatever. I'm talking about actual physical gold, right? And for a while, I just didn't really think about it I kind of always, it kind of just went in one ear and out the other when other people told me to buy gold and silver. And it's shooting through the roof right now. If I would have bought gold and silver instead of buying crypto, I probably would have 10x'd my money in the past 3 years. But instead of buying actual physical gold and silver, I decided to buy some fake tokens. Anyway, we're not here to talk about that. What we're here to talk about is how I believe gold and silver are going to be a hedge against inflation, which they have been, but I believe that they're probably two of the best ways to curb inflation. I mean, there are other precious metals, but we've always used gold and silver. And if you have been watching, keeping up with politics and new international organizations, there's an international organization called BRICS: Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, right? And I've talked about them in my other video. And currently, they're coming out with a currency that is going to be backed by gold, right? The United States used to back their currency by gold, but they stopped in the 70s. And ever since then, our paper has been becoming cheaper and cheaper. Our money is basically turning into paper, like what it actually is, right? That's why things are so much more expensive. That's why it seems like our $100 is basically a $10 bill now. It's because things they're not worth what you think they're worth. Everything just seems really expensive because our money isn't worth anything, and we're not getting paid more because the United States they don't have more money to pay us, and eventually they're just going to keep hitting us with more taxes, more taxes, more taxes. So me personally, I've been looking at the gold chart, and for the past 50 years, it's basically went up. I'd say there was like 2 or 3 times where it really dropped. That was in the 70s when they switched to the fiat, and 2000, I believe they were still heavily kind of into fiat, and then I'd say a couple years ago back during COVID, but it didn't really fall that hard during COVID. But it's been on the steady rise ever since gold has been mined, right? Because gold is always there. People have been using gold forever, and gold is a thing that has been around since the beginning of time. Like some gold that you may touch could have been touched by someone 10,000 years old, you know? And it's might be hard to believe that, but gold never burns, really. It melts. You can turn it into stuff, but it doesn't dissipate. It stays around forever, and it's always going to continue to stay around forever. So that means the price is going to continue to go up, especially if you keep buying it and hoarding it, because everything goes up, as you can see. So personally, I think gold and silver. Personally, gold. I'm looking into buying my first gram of gold. I'm going to buy my first gram of gold this month. I'm also going to do a face video. I'm going to show you the gold and whatnot. I've been doing faceless videos lately because when I've been doing my videos, I don't really have time to show my face. I'm kind of like out and about, and I've been just bringing these videos when things hit me after, I've been doing some research and whatnot. But I'm going to start doing more face videos. I'm going to start showing you guys the things that I get. I'm going to start buying gold from a local gold dealer. I can show you guys how the process works. I can show you, just how I believe gold would be a good hedge against inflation. I can show you physically because I'm going to be doing it myself, right? Again, I'm not a financial advisor. This is just my opinion. I'm not saying just go out and buy as much gold as you can, right? But personally, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to buy as much gold as I can every month, maybe a couple $100 worth of gold every month. And maybe 20, 30 years down the line, I can give it to my son, right? Because a lot of people, they're like, oh, well, I'll buy a house, I'll give it to my kid. I'll buy a car, I'll give it to my kid. I'll buy this, I'll give it to my kid. Well, all that stuff, by the time you give it to your kid, it's like 20 years old. They don't want it. They're looking at the new best thing. And they look at that and they're like, oh, why did my parents waste time on this? Like, I'm not saying everybody does that, but when they do it, I kind of understand, because it's like, okay, you're giving me like a 30-year-old house that I have to rebuild myself. I don't even have the money to rebuild it. Now I have to take care of something for the rest of my life. And it's not feasible all the time, unless that person that you're giving it to already has money, right? Um, so on top of that, gold and silver are a really good way to keep money in your family, right? You can always hide gold easier. You can put it away and you can pass it down through generations. You can't do that with paper. You can't do that with money, you know? I mean, you can do it, I guess, if you keep it in a bank and give it to them later, but again, it's going to lose. It's going to devalue over time. Gold isn't. Gold is going to keep valuing up. It's going to keep its value. If anything, it's going to keep the value, and it's going to continue to rise over the years because of inflation, right? Because it rises with the money. So if things become more expensive, what else is going to become more expensive? Gold and silver. I'm going to buy some silver stuff, but silver is a little hard to take care of. Even in, like, you're not supposed to touch it with your hands because it can oxidize. You're supposed to leave it completely sealed, which, I mean, I'm not planning on taking it out the seal, but I have read some stories about silver like corroding and stuff. I mean, it doesn't corrode because silver doesn't corrode, but it does oxidize, which kind of makes it look a little different. It won't really ruin the value because silver lasts forever, just like gold, right? But once you use it, it's it. You can't reuse it, right? So those are the few differences between gold and silver. Personally, I'm going to lean towards gold, but I'm also going to get some silver stuff. That's personally what I think is gonna, curb the hedge against inflation. You know, leave a comment down below if you have any gold or have any silver, or if you like gold or silver, if you're thinking about buying any. I would love to hear about it. I would love to hear your thoughts and your comments, and just all around, I would love to hear your opinion. Anyway, I've been rambling on for a while. Remember, this United States debt, it's not going to stop. So we have to figure out a way to save our income, to budget better, to do everything we can to keep money within our family, to keep money within our pockets, to keep money within ourselves, because eventually there's going to be a time where the money is worth a lot less than it is now. You think your money is worth nothing now? You think gas is expensive now? I heard that they're going to rise California. I live in California. I heard they're going to rise California gas prices to like $8 by 2026. And it's about to be 2025. That's in 1 year. I mean, it's already at $5, so I don't really see it stopping anytime. But anyways, thanks for joining. I hope y'all have a good day, and don't forget to try to invest. Invest in any way you can to try to overcome the system that is constantly trying to bring us down. All right. Anyways, have a good day. Hope y'all have a good time. Thanks for joining. See y'all later.